Welcome. We are live here at Empire Crypto TV. We are live one more time. We are live. I see the mood is already on Xmas, but we're still here. We're still dishing out this information, powerful information for that matter. So yeah, we still want to prepare people to the next year. Want to prepare everyone for the year ahead. So yeah. Please invite your friends, guys. Invite everyone. Send the shout out to everyone. Tell them we are live here. Share this live broadcast, guys, on your device where you're watching. There is an invite button. Just press that invite button. Let's bring all our friends. Let's bring the whole family. Let's tell them we are live via Temper Crypto TV. We always are live, guys, at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. every day. Christmas or no Christmas, New Year or no New Year, but we always are giving out this information so that everyone can become the best trader. All right. Stone, how are you, my man?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Good evening to the listeners. Yeah, I'm doing fine, man. And how are you, man?
Great, man. Great
Yeah.
stuff. How are you feeling, man? Does it feel like Xmas already, or it feels
No,
different?
it feels pretty normal. I'm on the show, and it's just the sun rises from the east and it sets in the west. As long as that keeps on happening, the days are pretty much the same.
Okay, it's just recycling. I mean, the recycling of days, recycling of time periods, recycling of seasons. It was Monday last week. It's Monday yesterday. It was Tuesday last week. It's Tuesday today. It's still gonna be Tuesday next week. So
Next
it's
week.
just a time moving.
Yes, that's true, man. Just times are moving is what you make out of those times that makes them the times that you hope them to be. But otherwise, like you said, next week there will be another Tuesday, but a different Tuesday from today.
And when the days are rolling like this, it makes you get old. You are getting old. You getting old. You are nearing your time to depart. I mean,
Come on, do I look old? I don't. I'm not old. I'll never get old. I never get old.
anyway, I mean, any part. I mean,
Yeah,
even myself. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
it's your days get subtracted, and it's
yeah.
mathematically subtracting.
Hmm. I wonder who subtracts these days.
All right,
All
great
right.
stuff. Empire Fam, we are live here. Do say something on the comment section. Let's engage. Let's talk, guys. If you got some questions pertaining the discussion of the day or pertaining the cryptocurrency market at large, you can say something. Do ask your questions on the comment section. We still here, guys. There we go. We've got Tamsanga calling Zanati to come through. Yeah, send them a shout out, send them a private message, send them a public message, share this live broadcast to them so that they can partake in this discussion. They can come and understand, learn and understand what we're talking about. What is cryptocurrency market? This thing that people have been talking about all throughout the year, and here 22 is coming, and we're still shouting, we're still talking about it. In fact, some of us we have been talking about cryptocurrencies since 2015. 2015, I sometimes look at my post. Facebook does remind us saying your memories, your history, what you spoke about. I look at my posts done at 2015, 2016 when I
Yeah.
was talking about cryptocurrency, and I'm like, you know what? If there was some hours where we get some hours of long standing, or hours for
Yeah.
introducing Bitcoin to the masses. I've
Yeah.
introduced Bitcoin, I've introduced cryptocurrency to
Mm,
the multitude in this space.
mm,
I've played my part. I'm
yeah.
doing my part very pretty well.
No, yeah, I remember. But me, I think we met in 2018 where you predicted that in that year, the cryptocurrency will come up to over 500,000 by the end of 2018. I remember those days. But now it went way beyond 500,000. If you are here in South Africa, it went beyond 500,000 rands. Of course, in the for the dollar, it's still at 60. It went at highest $69,000 or almost $70,000 per coin. Yeah, we are living in the golden era of cryptocurrency at this point in time, especially this year.
Tell me, is there any, according to your analysis, is there any other market which is giving people these massive returns at this point in time? Any other market that you can think of?
To be honest, there was markets like in the forex, in the stock market that still gives, uh, you know, uh, uh, like cryptocurrency is the challenging force behind the share exchanges and the currency exchanges, which we know as forex. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because the cryptocurrency market capitalization back in 2018 when I was starting to do my research, it was around 200 billion, and it was in equivalence with the stock market. But after a few years, like now, come 2021, now the market capitalization for 24 hours in the crypto space is over 2 trillion. And the forex market is running around 4 trillion, 5 trillion. So I can only imagine that in the next 4 or 5 years, we'll be seeing a much bigger market capitalization, maybe even over 5 trillion market capitalization in 24 hours in the cryptocurrency exchanges.
Look, I've been in all these, most of the markets, like the stock exchange, which is stock
Mm,
market. I've been
yes.
also in the forex market. I started trading in the forex market 10 years ago. Way back in 2009, 2010, I was trading forex market. But I will say, you know what, in terms of the risk, the volatility, and the stability and the profitability, I highly recommend cryptocurrency market at this point in time. Look, like I said, I've been on all these other markets, but yeah, look, the cryptocurrency market is giving me that edge, you know, when looking into so many things. Of course, someone might say, okay, no, in forex market you can take a trade and then it gives you 100% within a few minutes, within some few hours, you know. But look, when we're doing some comparisons, we look into different characteristics, you know, depth and stability and risky factors as well. So, look, I'll say the cryptocurrency market, of course, in the cryptocurrency market also, you are buying the actual products, the actual assets. You know, we're not speculating on the movement of the market. Of course, there are those who are, in fact, there are times when we trade the movement, leverage and margin trading, and perpetual contracts where we are actually speculating on the movement. But the basics of the cryptocurrency market is whereby you are buying the actual assets. When I'm saying I'm owning bitcoins, it means I'm owning real bitcoins in my own wallet, in my own exchange, or in my own care. I have in my own storage, so to say. I have bitcoins, I've got Litecoins, I've got XRPs, I've got Solana, you know. So you mean you are owning those assets, unlike these other markets where you are just speculating on the movement of the market. So that's why I'm saying the cryptocurrency market has got that edge
Mm,
against these other markets.
mm. Of course, I mean, like there's trust. There is developments in technology with regarding cryptocurrencies. Now, what I hear, even the stock markets are about to tokenize or take their stocks to be tokenized, or the tokenization of the stock market. It has already begun And when the tokenization happens, it simply means that all the stocks that Facebook stocks, Microsoft stocks, Nike stocks, or whatever stocks that you used to hear on the New York Stock Exchange or any other exchanges around the world will be tokenized, and they will be cryptographically tokenized, and they will be kept in the blockchain. And this can give strength and power to the cryptocurrency space in itself. So the dollar will lose strength because the dollar is the exchanging currency that controls the stock market. And on another hand, if you look at forex, and the more the cryptocurrency is invading within the technological space and the advancements, and having the famous people even backing it, the forex market sooner or later will soon lose volatility, as I was explaining yesterday, and soon all these fiat currencies, and then they will be recovered or maybe replaced by the stable coins like your US dollar tether and other stable coins across the world. They will also fall into the crypto space, maybe even making their domestic currencies into crypto space, opening up doors to new opportunities because there's no holding back.
Look, I like the point that you just put across, that there's so much development that is happening in the crypto space on the blockchain systems, so to say. With that being said, it means the market is still growing further and further. Look at the cryptocurrency market, DeFi, decentralized finance, NFTs, bringing into the cryptocurrency market different characteristics of people, different, people like artists, like your musicians, like,
Yeah.
those people who are getting involved in the NFT, but coming into the crypto space, and of course, the metaverse also bring different people. There are people who said, you know what, I never trusted Bitcoin, or I'm not really in trust, or I don't like Bitcoin, I don't trust Bitcoin. But just because of the metaverse, you just said the other day and said, you say, most of the currencies that will be used in the metaverse are cryptocurrencies. So people will be forced, even if they never liked the market, they never liked the crypto industry, but they will be forced to get involved in the crypto space because they have to use the cryptocurrencies in the metaverse space. But now, with such development, it means there is so much happening in this market, meaning it's going further and further and further. Every season or every year, we see different buy markets, buy industry coming into this space, and bringing different people into this space. So yeah, look, we here for long term.
Mm. No, no doubt. We are here for a long term, Mr. Mapi. There's no other way to putting it. And yeah, we're gonna see forward on the developments. But obviously, the skepticism and the negative feeling is because of the things that are happening out there that are obvious, like hacking, and people are scammers out there. There are a lot of people that are taking advantage of people who don't have knowledge, because cryptocurrency is a new development, is a new technology. A lot of people don't have so much knowledge, and then there are people who are taking advantage of that, promising people huge figures of money which are not realistic in the market of cryptocurrency. And a lot of people have lost money in the cryptocurrency because of these scamming and scammers of cryptocurrency. And of course, that can bring a negative feeling towards the whole market because of these. And of course, there are also senior people, as far as in the banking industry, even banking executives, talking about scammers, talking about hackers in the crypto space. Another company that I'm going to put up right now is also being scammed. News just came up. Another company also got scammed. It is things like that that drives the negative feeling towards cryptocurrency. Unlike the other thing is just that lack of knowledge. People don't have knowledge about cryptocurrency or what is Bitcoin. They don't have knowledge about money can evolve and become digital. They think that money is gonna stay the it will stay physical, with coins and paper money. They don't believe in the idea that money can be in the computer and used as a medium of exchange. But now technology has proven that that is possible. But now people, because of lack of knowledge and lack of understanding, they still want understanding. That is why we do these shows, so that hopefully we reach people and make them understand what is happening in this new development, this technology called Bitcoin.
Someone shared an article a few days back and said that article was written way in it was a newspaper article published way back in 2000, year 2000. It was talking about internet being fraud. They were like, okay, internet is fraud, it's gonna be here, but it's gonna go, it's gonna eventually fade away. It was way back in 2000. Look, on the point that you just mentioned, it looks like every technology, every revolution, when it comes out, when it's starting, there's always that insecurity, instability, or there's always those challenges, especially when it comes to trust from people, from the community. People will not really get into the new technology and start trusting it. It has to prove itself over a period of time. And there will always be some challenges, like you just mentioned that there's been some hacking and obvious the
Yeah.
bankers spreading some fat, spreading some negative news about the market. There's always going to be some resistance from the community, from the industry leaders, from the opposition as well. There's always going to be that scenario.
Yes, of course. Always, always, as we go forward until there will be none.
All right, tell me something. What are we talking about today? What's the discussion all about? You mentioned that we'll be talking about mining and halving.
Mm. Yes. No, before I get into the main topic of discussion, I just want to go through the market and just walk through the speculators of the BTC, which are also watching this channel, who are wanting to understand what is happening with Bitcoin. And I want to provide the latest information, technical analysis and fundamental analysis, of course. Then I will jump into the main subject that will come afterwards. Okay. If you could allow me just to add on the screen here, I just want to looking at the chart, looking at from yesterday. If people were following from yesterday, I did mention that there would be, because I did mention it from point one, at number one, that there would be a possible Elliott wave theory. This is what you call an Elliott wave theory. I've just lined it out or smoothed it out with trend lines that I'm using, so that people can see the formation that is happening in the crypto market. Actually, the Bitcoin is getting stronger than it was yesterday, where it caught a bounce off with an engulfing candlestick, as I was discussing also yesterday about the engulfing candlestick. And then now that engulfing candlestick actually had shown that the market indeed was going to be bullish in a sense, in a way. And then this is what I see. And then according to theory of as well, I also did share this pattern, the Elliott wave theory. We went to stage one, then went stage two, stage and three, and then stage four. But now I think we are heading towards stage five. I think there is a possibility that there will be a breakthrough. As you can see, there are bullish candlesticks already forming, though there are some of them that are a bit dodgy. But you can see that there is a bullish trend that is trying to force, maybe trying to break through the 50 or the 48,000 mark, because it has broken through the mark, the 48,000 mark, going to the highest point, to the 40,000, to the 49,000. I do believe that if we're gonna take the fifth wave, or the fifth wave Elliott theory here, which is the fifth one, it might be possible that taking it from the fourth stage going up, it might break through until maybe coming to the level of $50,000 per Bitcoin. at this point in time. Please let me know what you think online. Obviously, always connect with us on our social media. What you think about this Elliott wave theory coming up so strongly? Will it break through this 48,000 mark? It has this morning, and then I think it's gonna go to the level of 50,000. But when it reaches to the level of 50,000, according to theory, that it is possible that it may break down again, coming down to the same levels that it is right now, but going on a bullish trend, on a bearish trend rather than a bullish trend. So I wonder who knows how long this bullish trend will it last, and how long the bullish trend will, because there are news also coming out that I just want to share just quickly, that I just want to share under DeFi. It has to do, of course, with the negative skepticism that we are coming across about cryptocurrencies being unsafe on the network. Once again, DeFi protocol Grim Finance lost 30 million in re-entrancy hack. So DeFi means decentralized finance protocol. Okay, so this company is a regulator company. It regulates the protocol. Protocol meaning the rules or the rules of cryptocurrencies that are guiding the cryptocurrencies. So, or rules and regulations that are guiding the cryptocurrency space. So this Grim Finance is a tech company that has been hacked. You see, so these tech companies are a target. $30 million has been lost. This is just another bad news that will give more skepticism on these head government officials in the United States and all over the world, also the bankers, giving them all of this power so that they can be able to suppress the power of the cryptocurrencies coming up. So it makes it very difficult for people to understand, also for people to believe in the cryptocurrency space when there is this much hackings that are taking place. This is maybe the third company that we are discussing. There was also a hacking also in marketcap.com. There was also a hacking also in that exchange that you mentioned the other day. $150 million was lost. Decentralized finance, DeFi protocol, Grim Finance reported $30 million losses due to re-entrancy exploit of platforms. Re-entrancy is referring to a cyber scam. It's a computer scam. It's a type of crime that same like you would have like murder is a type of crime, but re-entrancy is also a type of crime in the cyber network. It's called it's used for hacking, and it's called re-entrancy. And when they put that 5 times, it means that it was a strong hacking, and it was an external source, according to the people. According to Green Finance, back hack was an advanced attack. So someone who was doing it was someone who was pretty advanced. Hackers are always advanced. In order to hack some of these high-profile companies, you must have advancement. Once again, it is the delicacy of the cryptocurrency that we are seeing. But these news did not affect the market. Not all news do affect the market, because the market, even though these news did come out, the market is still going strong, and is still going to is still going through the pattern that has still been going since yesterday. The Elliott wave theory is still driving the market up, and we are still waiting for stage 5. Maybe we might not see the stage 5 as yet. Okay, so what happens is that in the trading world, some traders will look at the news and think that, okay, it might affect it, it might not affect it. But in this case, it did not affect it, because maybe this company, the Grim Finance company, is not as big enough to affect the entire um, um, market as a whole. So I just wanted to share this news for you before I jump into anything further. But today I just want to talk more, which is a bigger picture that has to do a lot with mining and halving of mining. Halving meaning, when you have Bitcoin or mining rewards after 4 years since 2020, I think since 2008, halving has been happening, and then it happened 2012, happened 2016. It takes place every 4 years. Then it happened 2020, the most recent one. Okay, so I just want to dive into the mining expertise. So, Mr. Crypto King, do you have any comment with regards with this DeFi? I don't know if you've heard about this story. Maybe before I just move on to the next topic that I want to discuss.
Look, obviously, the market is fundamental driven, fundamental
Mm,
pushed. So there will always be some positive and negative news, and that makes the market so interesting. It makes the market so juicy because there has to be some movements in the market. The market, like especially, we remember we mentioned a few days back that the market keeps on bouncing between 50,000 and 45,000, 50,000
yeah,
and 45,000. As
5,000.
we stand now, there are people who are making good money. There are people who are trading this market within these ranges, you know. So either way, whichever way the market goes, there are people who are making money. It's how you position yourself. What strategy are you using in trading this market, or even investing on this market? But there are people who are waiting for it to break, you know, to the positive direction, so that they can make money. There are people who are still making money while the market is ranging. So either way, whichever way, it's good for the market. And yeah, look, let's move further. You
All right.
spoke about mining and halving. What's the relationship between mining and halving?
Okay. Um, right now, as I'm looking at this information that I picked out, back in March, the Chinese government um, kicked out a lot of mining companies out of China, or they banned mining out of China. And it is because there is the mining in itself uses too much, I can say, too much power, too much electricity. And with that being said, Chinese government could not have it anymore than it than than before. So they just decided, you know what, it's power hungry, as they put it. It's using consuming too much energy in the mining sector. But before I go deep into the details of mining, I just want to discuss, you know, for people who don't know what is mining. Okay, I just want to be brief on this. Okay, Bitcoin mining is a process by which people use their computers to participate in Bitcoin's blockchain network as a transaction processor and validator. Just keep it short. So you need a lot of computational work, a lot of electricity goes into mining. Okay, and with that being said, there are companies and that are investing, and then they have these huge warehouses where they have all of these ISEC technologies and computer technologies installed in it, so that they can do and mine. And the more power you have in the mining sector, the more equations and the more algorithms you're gonna perform, and the more Bitcoin rewards you're gonna receive. The more power that you have, the more advantage you will have. Because when it comes to mining, it's more of a competition. Who solves the algorithm first and then gets the reward? And after solving that algorithm, that block is added to the blockchain. So on that blockchain, you have mining. Without mining, they cannot be able to, they are the producers of the blockchain technology. But going forward to halving, I just want to read a small story about Bitcoin halving. After every 210,000 blocks mined, okay, in the blockchain, or roughly every 4 years, the block reward given to the Bitcoin miners for processing transaction is cut in half. So before they had, I think, 50 Bitcoin as a reward, and then they cut it in half. That's why they call it Bitcoin halving, because the reward was 50 Bitcoins, then they halve it, and then it became 25. Then after 4 years, and then they halve that 25 into 12.25. if I should say. And then the processing transaction cut half. This event is referred to as halving because it cuts the half of the rate of which new bitcoins are released into circulation. Okay, so this halving process, it also affects the market. This is something that I also want to discuss, that this mining halving every 4 years. Now, the most recent one that we have on the halving was last year, 2020. This is 2021. The halving happened last year. Halving implication, let me just read on halving implication. In the past, these Bitcoin halvings have correlated with massive surges in the Bitcoin price. Now, let me try and explain this. When they say it has correlated, it has connected. Correlation is a connection with something, okay? And then with massive surges meaning that is a major up move or is a impulsive up move, like on an immediate. So it just skyrocketed the market after this halving. The first halving, which occurred on November 28th, 2012, saw the increase from $12 per Bitcoin to 1,217 per Bitcoin the following year, which was 2013. So the halving took place in 2012, and then the cryptocurrency increased the following year, and then up to 1,217 from $12. That's a very, very sharp rise. Sounds a bit familiar? Remember 2017? Okay, let's continue. The second Bitcoin halving occurred on July 9, 2016. This now before 2017. Remember the bull market that took place after 2016 in December, where Bitcoin here in South Africa particularly came up to 300,000. But internationally speaking, the Bitcoin went up to almost $20,000 per Bitcoin. The price then fell over, of course, of a year from this peak. You remember now, Bitcoin after 2017, there was a major bullish trend that hit the market where Bitcoin also fell here locally to 40,000 rand per Bitcoin. But internationally speaking, the Bitcoin fell up to $3,000 per coin. Imagine from 19,000 or almost $20,000 per Bitcoin falling down. So these halvings have major implication on the coin. And then on December 17, 2018, the price uh, like was higher than 506% higher than its pre-halving price.
Tell me
So if
something. What do you think was happening in someone's mind when Bitcoin fell from 19,000 US dollars
mm,
to 3,000 US dollars? What do you think the wider community were, especially those who were new at that point in time? Because I remember there were some people, in fact, there are some people who bought the top, who bought at
yeah.
18,000, 17,000, 15,000 US dollars, and then Bitcoin came down to 3,000. What do you think psychologically was happening to the investors?
Well, I can tell you on my case that there were people who thought that Bitcoin was losing strength, and I can tell you that when that happened, of course, it brought a lot of negativity. Even I myself, like I thought, like that was like that was it. I mean, like maybe it was something of a hype, but now it's losing value. Maybe people did get rich over it, but in the end, it did not achieve anything. So I also that had bitcoins at that time, I can assure you, they were going through a process. There were a lot of people who lost money first of all, because having the value. Imagine if you had bought the Bitcoin at that value when it was still $19,000 per coin, coming down to $3,000. I can tell you, people lost maybe property, even their monies that have that have invested in Bitcoin. So if people had pulled out before the market went down, this is the warning that we tell people about mining, about the halving. So you need to understand the seasons and the events, the halving events that you need to follow in the cryptocurrency space. Like what I was saying yesterday, it's important for people to keep on doing research, get informed about your investments within the crypto market space. That will be extremely helpful for people who are going, especially new people, newbies in the crypto currency space.
All right. And then obviously you were still explaining the 2017
Yeah,
halving, and
yeah.
when is the next year halving happening, and what can we expect on the next uh,
Halving. Okay.
Bitcoin
Before
halving? Yeah.
All right. Before I move on to the next halving, the next halving will take place in 2024. Now it's 2021. But now let us focus on the halving that occurred this year, last year. What implication does it have on the cryptocurrency? I want to just step into the 1 week chart right now, just to explain for you everything that I just told you about the halving. Okay. Now this is the complete chart of Bitcoin from starting to ending. Okay, this is where the I think the Binance came in. So now the halving when it happened 2016. Um, okay, can I just do this? I just want to do this. Okay, yeah. Now when the halving happened in 2016, okay, we had a situation like this where the cryptocurrency on the following year, which was 2017 December, went up to almost $20,000 per Bitcoin. As you can see here, this sharp rise here was the most famous or the first massive bullish market with the cryptocurrency at that time. And then after the halving period, come 2018, look at where the Bitcoin was sitting, right at the bottom, even at $3,000 or just above $3,000. So this was a year of the halving. 2017 was the bullish year, and then the following year was a bearish year. Can you understand that whole sequence? Now we came again this year again. It was flat, 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 going flat, and then came this year again. If I look at this market, this is 2021 markets. 2021 all the way from January. The halving that happened 2020, and the halving was on the March 11th or May 11th, if I should say. This is what was on March, and then on March 2020 when the market on the 11th, and then when the halving occurred the following year, which is 2021, we started seeing the bullish market as we have experienced this whole year. So it was the halving last year, and then is it possible that this bullish trend was caused by the halving that was made last year, the same way that it did 2016, and then we saw a bullish market 2017, 2020, 4 years afterwards, then we have a bullish market 2021, and then now here we are now sitting here at the bullish trend on this market right now on the highest level, which was almost $70,000 per Bitcoin this year. But now, what's interesting now, we are going into the future, we are going 2022. What's going to happen in 2022? Will we experience the 2018 bearish market? I don't know. But if we are looking at the technical analysis here, I'm looking at the weekly chart. There is a engulfing, what you call an engulfing candlestick, or an engulfing bearish candlestick. Now I can look at an engulfing bearish candlestick right now. This pattern is converse to the bullish engulfing pattern, where in the body of a bullish candle is encompassed or engulfed by the body of the consequent bullish candle. This indicates an increase in activity from both bears and bulls, and shift of market sentiment towards the bearishness. Okay, so I'm looking at this engulfing candlestick on the theory side, and then of course it also appears on the market on the weekly chart. This is what we have, this situation, an engulfing bearish candlestick, and the market, as you can see, since ever this December, I was even like also surprised why this December this market is so weak. Then I also understood that okay, the halving situation also has an impact with the miners having to change wards every 4 years. So could it be like 2018, 2022 is in a few days' time, and then we're already looking at the bearish market? It can send panic all across the network. It can send sell-offs. People can sell off because of this knowledge. All I can say is that people are speculating. People shouldn't panic. people should just hold on to their coins, to their investment, because going forward, knowing Bitcoin, it did not stay down. It did lift up after a while, coming up. Now, since now there is new developments and technology, will it be possible that we can see this bearish trend that we saw in 2018? But I don't know about that, because the developments that are taking place in the technological space might not be able to allow the cryptocurrency to go that low. But let us see what happens in 2022. This is one of the other things that mining has affected the Bitcoin trend over the years. I don't know
Look,
if it makes sense to you, Crypto King.
Look, technically, you might say that the market might take a bearish move based on the trends, based on history, based on the past, movements after the halving, whereby the market goes on an all-time high and then start coming down. That's technical analysis for you. But of course,
Yeah.
when you're looking at fundamentals, the development that's happening in the crypto space, we might have a, a short bear market, whereby it's few weeks to few months bear market, but it won't last that much, looking at the fundamentals. Of course, the
Mm,
market has to go up, the market has to go down. Like someone might even argue and say, during this year we had a bear market. Someone might say we had a bear market because Bitcoin went to its all-time high of 68,000, and then it went back, came crashing 50% down to 30,000 US dollars. So looking at that scenario, and it stayed, I think, for a month or two or three at 30,000 US dollars. So someone looking at that trend might say we had a bear market in 2021 because the market came from 60,000, it went 50% down to 30,000 US dollars. So there might be someone out there arguing that, yeah, there was a bear market in 2021. But look, this is the same scenario that we might encounter going forward, whereby, as per your technicals, the market might come down to a certain levels, lowest levels, and then pick up before it goes further up. So that's the market. Look, like I said, the market is volatile. It goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. It makes the market. There is no market that might just shoot up without having corrections, without correlating or coming down. There
yeah.
has to be some movements in the market, and movements, it means up and down. So yeah, look, halving also helps a lot. Of course, like we just said, that they push the market up, and we're looking
Yeah.
at one in the next few years coming, and we're hoping for the best also.
Okay, no doubt about that. But yeah, as these kind of developments and these news that are taking place, but there's also news that just came out of China, where the miners that were now, remember now in March, I think, or no, in May, in China. Uh, Miners were taken out of the country, or they were just said that mining consumed too much power in the crypto space, or it's consuming too much power in China. These are the types of models that are used to do mining, and the models before, they never used to be so intense, because I'm talking about this mining because it can also have an implication based on what's happening in China. Can it have an influence on the market? But let us talk about energy and mining and what it can do, because Satoshi and them, when they began mining, actually they never used to have this ASIC miner, that it was never invented. So Bitcoin miners in 2009, they started using CPUs, okay, central processing unit, and then they moved to GPUs, to graphical processing unit. Now, it's a graphical processing, it was not made for cryptocurrencies. And then they moved to FPGA. It did not last long. then the graphical processing unit was still intact. It was still relevant. It didn't last. But in 2013, um, the ASIC was invented solely to mine bitcoins. So there was, an input from the tech and hardware companies coming together and say, you know what, this cryptocurrency is growing. Can't we just make our own ASIC? And ASIC, the meaning of ASIC is application specific integrated circuit. That these are computer science terms that are used, and if anyone who does IT will understand in-depth knowledge about the functions of this technology behind the mining industry. But of course, you have, in China, because of these CPUs and these mining products that they use, they take up too much power or consume too much power inside China's underground crypto mining operation. So people also went underground, trying to avoid mainstream media or trying to avoid the government. Um, Mining operations where people are risking it all to make bitcoins. So this is in China. They are no longer allowed to mine. So these people are doing it illegally and they went underground. China cracked down on its domestic crypto mining industry in May, but many miners have figured out a way to continue operation and evade detection. So they are there underground, and then they are just doing mining. Experts estimate that as much as 20% of the worldwide Bitcoin network remains in China. So China is the major player in the cryptocurrencies, in, of course, also in mining. But most miners that come out of China are looking to invest in North America. In this sense, I also saw the story that in North America, particularly in Texas, they have invested tons and tons of money building warehouses to maintain all of this mining, because the power and the energy in Texas, in North America, is very well stabilized. It can provide enough power for mining. So they have all the equipment, all the facilities, all the money to do that. So China, because, and another thing I believe, because China is an overpopulated country, over 1 billion of people living in there, and obviously they will have energy problems. I don't think it has any political thing, but it's an energy thing that made the Chinese government or the Chinese officials to take the mining or the Bitcoin mining out of the country, and then investors. But some people went underground. As hydropower dams dry up in the provinces of Sichuan and Yunnan, miners are newly contemplating taking their operations overseas. This is some of the news that came out. So Ben is mining for Bitcoin in China province Sichuan, hoping every day that he doesn't get caught by the authorities. Now I can imagine the situation of this poor guy. Every day you have this huge warehouse that you are doing Bitcoin mining on, and you are hoping that the government does not catch you and does not get you caught. And if he gets caught, obviously he's gonna be arrested. And another thing that gave me the reason about the great mining immigration. Power hungry Bitcoin leaves China. Can you see the words that they are using? They say Bitcoin is what? Power hungry. No, it doesn't mean that it's power hungry. It means that it takes a lot of power to do all of that computational work, all of that algorithm that we so much talk about in the mining. All of that algorithm, all of that mathematics requires a lot of power. It is math math problem solving that is done by computers, and computers require a lot of energy for that to happen. So China was the biggest contributor. 20% was still in the China. That's a large amount of money of mining that takes place in China. Hence that's why in China government they say, okay, mining, we're gonna take them out. So another thing with mining that I've also tried and understood is that mining in itself, or these mining underground places and warehouses, require cool environments, places or with low temperatures. North America has snows and all. It requires cool places. The hotter the place, the hot the modems and the computational work, it becomes more difficult, and it use excessive energy, and that can be a negative thing if you would do mining in places like China. I don't know if you've heard about that story, and I would like to know about what is your take on that.
Yeah,
Have you
look,
done a bit of mining?
yeah, look, there is a problem with if all the mining is happening in China. We do not want a scenario whereby there's so much centralization of Bitcoin. We want it to be everywhere. There was a scenario whereby China was, centralizing this mining of Bitcoin. So I think it served the good purpose to be moved from China to be
Mm,
decentralized all over the world than to have one place controlling everything. And remember, when it happened, it took a market to some levels. It knocked the market to a certain extent. We do not want such a scenario whereby if one nation or one state does something and then it moved the Bitcoin to to negative situations. And I also am not a fan of having big figures coming to talk about Bitcoin and moving the market on there, like what Elon Musk was doing beginning of this year, whereby whenever he feels like he takes Bitcoin to the all-time high, and the next week he feels like, you know what, I need to take it down. Then he says something negative, and the Bitcoin comes down crashing. We do not want such scenarios from individuals, from
mm,
influencers, or whatever the reason, because
yeah.
it means now the whole market will be centralized or circling around a certain figure, So we do not want such a scenario.
Yeah, like that's true, man. Because like I'm looking at the chart here. This is back in May, like the same thing that the news are saying on the 11th of May, when these Chinese just when the China government uh, escorted the mining industry. Look at how the market just fell from this point outward all the way down, and it has caused less volatility over time. So when it came out, it's only just 20% crypto king, that the mining that is done in China. It's not that all of it is done in China. There are some parts of the world that they are doing cryptocurrency mining, but it's just that China has been ahead of it. And then being ahead of it, it consumed too much of energy. And then those people who are tycoons that have invested so much money, they can afford to say, okay, you know what, we're gonna just go invest elsewhere, and then we're gonna do our business operations overseas either than in China. So in a way, the government was desperate. At the same time, the business of mining was just, you know what, take a look at it, man. The more miners there are, is the more harder it is to get rewarded in mining, because it is that difficulties in mining do occur when there's too much miners. That is why the rewards are even cut in half, or each and every 4 years. The more miners you have, the more difficult it is to mine. The less miners you have, the more simpler it is to mine. So at some point, you have too many miners that are trying to mine all the cryptocurrencies that they can, but it makes it very, very difficult at some point. But the chunk that the United States that is investing on, and they are building warehouses, and so they are trying to take as much power as they can, so that they can be the lead of this mining industry. Mining is equivalent. like banking, because mining, you are creating Bitcoin. Also, the Reserve Bank, or the United States, also prints money. You know, mining is a very big business in a sense, because you are creating Bitcoins, and creating these Bitcoins, it requires computational work and algorithms. And the more of the computational work and more of equipment that you have, the more you're gonna win mining rewards, and the more you're gonna make profits in another sense. So big time investors go in it, and then eventually, it's gonna be like the banking industry, because they are the ones who started printing money long time ago. This evolution of money, printed money, and then they. But now the thing with a Bitcoin, they can only mine up to 21 million, and there's already over 18 million Bitcoins being mined, and there's only over 2 million left. And this process is set to gonna this process of mining is set to stop at around 2149. 2149. Now that's more than 100 years into the future. Now that's maybe after a century, then mining will start, will cease, because all 21 million Bitcoins would have been mined by then. That's why Satoshi said, okay, only 21 million Bitcoins can be available. Why is that? It's to stop inflation, like the fiat currencies. Fiat currencies, they can print as much money as I can, and then it can cause inflation. Now, in the cryptocurrency space, there are protocols, or there are rules and regulating that they can only mine 21 million Bitcoins and never going beyond that.
All right, no, great stuff. We are live via Temper Crypto TV talking about Bitcoin mining and halving. All right, now let's move on to the markets, looking at how the market is moving. You can see now the Bitcoin is around 48,600 US dollars, of which I think day before yesterday or yesterday it was just around 46,000 US dollars. So
Yeah.
it has moved to 5% over 24 hours, and of course 4% in the last 7 days. And you look at the second most valuable asset, which is Ethereum. It's on 4% in the last 24 hours and 5% in the last 7 days. BNB also coming up at 2% in the last 24 hours. Let me check if there are some biggest gainers. We've got Terra Luna here moving at 49% for the week, 49% for the last 7 days, and 11% in the last 24 hours. And of course, Avex also doing some wonders at 45% in the last 7 days, and 8% in the last 24 hours. We've got Matic still doing wonders, still very much holding on to the good numbers at 27% in the last 7 days and 9% in the last 24 hours. The market is so good. It doesn't really send some chills on our on our knees. What do you think, Stone? The market is looking good at this point in time.
At this point in time, yes, I like Bitcoin up today by more than 5%, which is a good thing. But this is a bullish trend that I was discussing with you. Yes, yesterday we had $46,000 per coin, and then moving up to $48,000. As I'm looking at the chart right now, I am seeing, up and down. It is still between $45,000 to $50,000. The main question is, will it break through that $50,000 like it did going back to almost $70,000 this year? We'll just see about that. It's very difficult to say that cryptocurrencies will be having a bullish trend going next year. It's very, very difficult to say because a lot of traders are speculating, and they are looking at the chart and thinking, oh, wow, should I buy cryptocurrencies? Should I buy the coins? Yes, you should buy them at this point in time. If you buy them, or you can wait until they get very low. You understand? If maybe you witness maybe a bearish trend over the next few weeks, or over the next few months, then that's when the opportunity comes for people to be involved in the crypto space, because it's cheap enough for you to buy, and it's cheap enough for you that you can afford. And the volatility, as long as it's there, the cryptocurrency will stay alive.
Thank you so much for coming through to the show. We were live via Temper Crypto TV, and of course, the same thing is happening tomorrow. Remember, we are always live at 7 p.m. And of course, do not forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Go over onto YouTube, find Empire Crypto TV, and subscribe. Once you have subscribed, whenever we go live, you get that notification that we are live, and then you can just join the discussion. You do not want to be left behind on this amazing information that we share with you every day at 7 p.m. So be part of us, be with us, be part of the family. Let's make money together. Crypto is here. Crypto was here 10 years ago. Crypto is still here today, and crypto is the future. It's still gonna be here for the next years to come. All what you have to do yourself is to come on board, invest in this market, choose some good projects, and you just become a multi millionaire. It's possible. It's happening. It's real. Thank you so much.